Word balloons. They are an essential part of the visual vocabulary in comics. But as the graphic novelist, you don't just signal to the reader who is speaking, but how they are speaking, at what volume, and with what emotion. And in many ways, word balloons are like the adverbs in comics. In this video, you are going to learn how to effectively communicate tone and pitch with your word balloon visuals. We're going to be talking about how to communicate through comics. Today I'm going to be focusing on specifically how you communicate through the symbols that we use as graphic novelists and cartoonists. I'm going to draw these two very simple sock puppets to help illustrate what I want to teach you. One sock puppet has stripes, one does not, and that's how we can tell the two apart. Now I'm going to be using the word word so as not to sway you with how you might feel. I'm using the word word as just a generic word. But telling a story through comics, it's all about these symbols, these visual symbols. So what did I just communicate to you with that visual symbol? I communicated that this character, the character with the stripes, is talking. This is a word balloon. All right, now what did I communicate here? I communicated that this character, the sock without stripes, is thinking to themselves. So here's a question for you. Can this character hear that word? The answer is yes. This character can hear that word. Can this character hear that word? No, this character cannot hear this word because this character was thinking. Now, we know that this word is being spoken by this character because of that little stem. We know that this word is being thought by this character because those little bubbles point down to the character's head. Because I could also have a word bubble up here, but if the stem is pointing down to this character, we now know that this is the character that's speaking that. So it's nothing to do with the word balloons or thought bubbles being above the character's head, and everything to do with where that stem is pointing. Now, I can also control volume through the visuals, because we're all speaking at different volumes throughout the day. So let me draw this puppet with the stripes. Now, at what volume is that character speaking? Loudly. Really, really loudly. Word! And how did I do that? So you saw that and you instinctively knew that this character was speaking loudly. But how did I do that? A couple of things. One, I used all capitals. I used an exclamation point. The word is physically big, but also there isn't a lot of blank space between the letters and the border. Here, here, and here. You see that comfortable amount of white space I left between the letters and the border? I didn't hear. So it seems like that character is speaking so loudly that eventually those letters are going to burst out of that bubble and just be so loud. Now, at what volume is that character speaking? That character is speaking very quietly. And it's not just that I wrote the word to be small, but look at all of that blank space. All of that blank space around there makes that word feel quieter. Because here, check this out. I could write the word even smaller. But if I don't draw a big old word balloon, it's not going to read as quiet. Watch what happens when I draw a regular size word balloon that's as small as the word. These have very different meanings. This reads as quiet. This reads as somebody speaking at a regular volume. They're just really far away. Maybe they're down the street. Now, there's also emotion behind our words. So I'm not going to draw the characters. I'm going to draw the word balloons first because I feel like their facial expressions are going to really give this away. But if I present the word balloon to look like this, in what tone is that character speaking? How is that character feeling? But angry. And you knew that before I even drew this character. Because when we're angry, we're not always in control of the words that we're using. We're not always going to choose the words that we would if we were happy. And when you're really angry, sometimes those words will hurt people. And now it feels like if you could reach in and touch this, you might hurt yourself. Now, what if I drew the stem to be all wavy like so? Could mean a few things. It could mean that the character's sad. Could mean that the character's tired. It could mean maybe the character's been beat up or isn't feeling so well. There's a thermometer in their mouth, maybe an ice pack on their head. But you can hear the tone waver. So here, read it with me now. Word. 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 You see what I did there with the visual? Hopefully, at some point in your story, your character might feel this way. Love. That character is just in love. And what are they in love with? What are we all in love with? Cupcakes. Let's switch gears just a little bit. This is a bit of a trick question. What if my stem is a lightning bolt? Has nothing to do with an emotion and has nothing to do with volume. But what is making that sound? And the answer to that what is something electronic. So it could be that my character is speaking on a phone. And the sounds that are emitting from that electronic device will have a lightning bolt. Even if on the other side, that creature is a sentient being that it's a living creature. So the character is watching TV. Somewhere in front of a camera, there is a living, breathing sock puppet filming that. But we are hearing that noise being transmitted over something electronic. Could be that your character is in and of itself electronic. So if your character is a robot, anytime that character talks, you would have a lightning bolt. Now that especially comes in handy when you are writing stories that have droids. So I write some books in the Star Wars Jedi Academy books, and there are droids. There are protocol droids, there are astromech droids. So very similar to R2-D2 and C-3PO from the movies, but of a different versions of them. Hello. And again, I'll have that lightning bolt. Beep. Boop. Again, I'll have that lightning bolt. Now, what if I have two characters that are saying the same thing at the same time. If I have two characters saying the exact same thing at the exact same time, I would have one word balloon and two stems. If I have a character that has a lot to say, I can break up that large amount of text into word balloons like so, and attach them like this. Now also notice what I've been doing all along. I write the words first, and then I draw the word balloons. That's the best advice I can give you.